So you might get an offer in April, May, June. Yeah, but I'd give it a month and a half after the deadline has passed and before you contact the departments to find out the status. Yeah.
Okay. It's for question, like
yeah.
some students have questions, so we just talk.
Yeah.
So there's a new major here called Information System Science.
Yeah.
Master degree. I think it's under the math department. And the question, like until now, it's nothing in the website says which profs or who are the profs who teach this course.
Yeah.
So the student like wants to know like if they want to. They want to know who are the profs, so they want to apply for this program in advance. Like they have to get.
Okay. For the Master of Information Systems Science, it falls under 3 different programs. So math, computer science, and I forget the other one. And each of those departments is responsible for that part of the program. So if it's the math one that you're interested in, then it's the Department of Math you want to go to find a faculty member under that area. But in terms of specifically for the information system science, there's no one unit at Carleton that deals with that. It's depending on the area that you do it. And you have to choose an area. You can't just do information system science and leave it at that. It has to be in one of those three areas.
So does the reference letter from a teacher in Algonquin College or any other ESL institutes help when applying to Carleton?
It's not going to, if it's from an ESL institute, it's not going to qualify as an academic reference because what the departments are looking for academic references are from faculty members at your previous university. And the reference letter should be talking about how well you can succeed at graduate level study at a university, particularly at Carleton, but at a university is what you want to go for. We see reference letters quite often that talk about how great of a person the student is, and that's great, but it doesn't really tell us how they can do academically. So it really needs to be focused more so on how you can succeed academically at Carleton. Some programs do have a template that they ask referees to follow. So it's a form, and they ask the referee to rank you on different areas. So that's all in the application to that program. So when you go to submit your application, you'll have access to all these forms that are required. A graduate studies application is more intense than a bachelor's because of all the additional documents that are needed to assess you.
Questions?
Yeah.
If I have more than 3 reference letters, should that help in increasing the chances of getting admitted?
No, you really should keep it to the maximum that's required for the program. More reference letters isn't really going to help you. They're really probably only going to look at 2 anyway, 2 or 3, depending on what level you're applying to. 3 for the PhD, 2 for a master's. So you really want to pick your best 2, or what you feel are your best ones. Because otherwise, if you submit 5, they're just going to pick randomly 2 or 3 and look at those. So, yeah. Yeah.
What is the best way to continue master thesis or courses?
It depends on what your interests are. There's I really can't say what the best way is for you because I don't know you. So it depends on where your interests are. With the engineering programs, I will say you'll see Master of Engineering offered at Carleton as well as a Master of Applied Science. If you are interested in doing a PhD program in engineering, you have to do the Master of Applied Science. Master of Engineering will not qualify you for a PhD in engineering. The Master of Engineering program is more course-based, and you'll do a project, but the Master of Applied Science is research-based and thesis-based. So just to explain the engineering one in particular, because I know that one can get confusing at times. But, yeah. But in terms of, for you, it really depends what you want out of a graduate education. To do a PhD, generally you want to do more research-oriented thesis masters.
So does Carleton provide a Master of Biochemistry?
Well, biochemistry is a research area under chemistry and biology. It's not a Master of Science Biochemistry, but it's between those two programs.
What about if someone has a bachelor's degree in biochemistry and wants to apply the Master of Biomedical Engineering?
Yeah, it's possible that you'd be eligible for biomedical engineering. Your best bet is to contact the department directly before submitting an application to see about eligibility. Their website is ocibme.ca. So Ottawa Carleton Institute of Biomedical Engineering is their website.
So now, like, most of the students didn't apply it to the university.
Yeah.
So the next step is to apply through the website and paying the application fees.
Yeah.
And then submitting the applications. Or is it just one website, or are there two different things, departmental and main office, right?
So there is a departmental, the departmental websites, which you should be checking out first before you go to submit an application, to make sure that you do meet the minimum requirements, that it is a program that meets your interests. Oh, can't locate internet. So that's the first step, is to review the departmental websites. And if you go to carleton.ca/graduate, you'll see a list of all the programs that are offered, and you'll be able to get to the departmental websites through that main website. Once you find a program that you're interested in, you feel you're eligible for, if you still have questions, that's normal. Email the graduate administrator, email myself. We'll help you as much as we can before you go and submit an application. Once you have decided, once you have decided on an application, this is where you go. This is what the application system looks like. We only accept applications online. There are no paper applications. We don't use paper anymore. Step one is where you go to request your application account. When you are given your account information, you log into step two. When you log into step two with your user ID and password, you'll be asked to change your password. Do not lose it. We cannot reset passwords with this system. So if you lose the password and you haven't submitted your application, you have to go in and start all over from the beginning. So make sure you do not lose your password when you put in your new one. At the top here, you'll see general instructions on how to apply, the deadlines, general regulations, information to the graduate calendar, a list of supervisors, that sort of thing. So. And also, if you go to this website, click on step one. Let's say you want architecture, and if you want Master of Architectural Studies, there is the email address for the graduate administrator of the program, as well as the website. So you can access the departmental websites through here as well. They also have the address where you have to send the documents to. Any other questions?
If I want to study a master's degree of public administration, I need GMAT?
No, not the only program you need a GMAT for is the MBA and PhD management.
Thank you.
The business programs. Yeah.
Yes, I got a question for students who are pursuing their undergraduate studies in Carleton. The thing is, if I want a student at third year and want to apply for a master's degree, should it begin processing third or fourth year?
You won't be able to submit an application in your third year, but that's when you should be looking at applying. So that's when you should start narrowing down your program choices. If you are a bachelor's student at Carleton, then you have an advantage by knowing some professors and going to talk to them about pursuing graduate level study. Third year is when you really want to start thinking about your graduate options. Fourth year is when you would actually submit an application fall of your fourth year generally.
Okay.
Fall term of your fourth year.
Another question, do you recommend for fourth year student to take graduate graduate courses, like, you know, 50 year, you know, sometimes.
Yeah, generally you won't be allowed to do a graduate level course as a fourth year student unless you have special permission from the department. That's something you have to talk to your department about. If you can take one, great, if you're allowed to, but it's not required. It's probably not going to help you at all. You should focus on getting high grades of your fourth year level courses.
I see.
That's where your focus should be.
So that wouldn't like make a change.
Not really.
A big
it would be up to the department specifically, but I would strongly suggest you focus on the fourth year courses and getting high grades like A's if you want to go to better your chances of getting into grad school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I did apply to Carleton and I was sent the account number and the password, but I'm not sure what's the next step.
So you've submitted everything, you've paid the application fee?
Oh no, I
Okay.
sent the account number.
Oh, just the account? Okay. So once you have your account information, so you have your ID, which begins with IT, and then a bunch of numbers, then you log into step 2. So here you'll be asked to put in your user ID, which is IT followed by 7 digits, and then your password that we sent you. Have you already logged in here yet or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you would have created a new password. Can you remember what that new password is?
I haven't changed the password.
Okay. If you try to log back in here again and it's not accepting the password that we sent you, that means that there was a change made, and so there's no way we can reset that, so you have to go in and request an application account. Yeah. So once you get your user ID and password and you log in here, you fill out all the forms that are required, you click submit, you pay your application fee, and then you gather up all your documents and submit them to the department.
So the last chance. Any question? No questions? All right. Okay. Thank you.
Does anybody else need a book? Oh, I'm all out of books. If you don't have a book and you would like one, you can stop by 512 Torrey, pick one up. It's also available on our website as well at carleton.ca/graduate. There's an electronic PDF version as well.
So on behalf of the Saudi Student Association at Carleton University, we would like to thank you for all of your efforts regarding our first meeting and for coming to our workshop today. This is really nice, and thank you for all the efforts and the things that you do. And this is a small certificate for recognition from the Saudi Student Association to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Come here, come.
Thank you. Okay. Okay.